Live from Burnie, Tasmania, this is Paul Murray Live, Our Town.
Welcome to Tasmania, welcome to Our Town. G'day Burnie, how are you? Lovely to see you. What a great part of Australia this is. We have had a magnificent weekend and I can't wait for the opportunity tonight to be able to tell you about what we have been experiencing over the past couple of days. Seriously, what a place to come and visit. Put it on the bucket list as you make your way around Tasmania, but also, if you want to, look at an incredible lifestyle that exists here too. So, Burnie, we will tell you all about it in a moment or two's time, including the beautiful building that we are in right now, which is the Arts Centre. This is one that has been rebuilt over the past couple of years. Massive zhuzh of about $20 million. Senator Richard Colbeck from Tassie, who's in the front row, big part of all that. Give him a round of applause because it's a great building. He's a good man. We back Richard in. Thank you, Richard. Really appreciate you being here tonight. All right, now let us get to a couple of things before we get into what is best about Burnie, and we'll get to all of that in a second. Now, you may well have heard that Sharri Markson had Pauline Hanson on her show last week. You may well have heard that there was some comments that were made in and around the Islamic population of Australia, ones that I've got to say, if you actually have seen the interview, she corrects pretty quickly, 24 hours later, further explains, but can you believe this here, where the police are seriously looking at a potential hate crime of what she had to say in and around that interview. Now, this is stuff that is the worst of what happens in England. This is the stuff that shouldn't be happening here. Again, my view is that people who are elected to the parliament have an opportunity to be hired and fired every 3 years by us. If you are able to, as Lydia Thorpe did, say she wanted to, burn down the parliament and there was nothing to see here, but these comments are the ones that the police actually investigate, I think we're in a slightly screwed up place. Now, the police and the federal police are the ones having a look at all of this, ironically after those hate laws had gone through the parliament just a few weeks ago. Very brief statement, but it's worth repeating to you here that the Australian Federal Police say they are aware of the interview and further comment will be made at an appropriate time. Now, apparently a whole bunch of those, either from the community or on their behalf, have been the ones who have been running off to the police, trying to get them involved in all of this. Again, wait, watch and see, but for those who think this is the way to handle a political force you don't like, what happened when they tried to jail Donald Trump? Did that work out with him not being the president again? And of course, Pauline Hanson has already been in and out of jail after politics was responsible for putting her there, and it was quashed. I can guarantee you this, any sort of a move like this is only going to strengthen her support, and her support, particularly here in the northwest, and I'll get to that polling later, is getting very strong right around the country. Literally, the orange empty chair is outranking some of the great historical forces of Australian politics. Unsurprisingly, the Prime Minister is going, passive-aggressive here, pretending to be the calm one who causes no division whatsoever. Unsurprisingly, he thinks he's got it over One Nation. Here's what he told Andrew Clennell on Sky News this morning.
I'm not a lawyer, nor am I in charge of fulfilling those laws. I'll allow the appropriate authorities to engage. What we shouldn't do, Andrew, and what will not build social cohesion, is if people come out and have their different views based upon their thoughts. What's important here is that we actually respond in a responsible way.
All right, so now let's just take a quick survey of the people that have randomly gathered on a Sunday night here in Burnie. Anyone keen for one of the ISIS brides currently in Syria to move in next door? Oh, well, guess what? An opinion poll has shown us that 2/3 of Australians don't want them back in the country at all. Does this surprise anyone here? Let me read along with what we're saying. Geez, you're well trained. I like this. This is fantastic, Paul says potato, you say potato. No, don't actually. All right, so let me read here for what's in the newspapers today. 2/3 of Australians think the so-called ISIS brides should not be allowed to return to Australia, with support of One Nation holding firm after Angus Taylor toppled Susan Lee. That's your headline. The quote says that a News Fox and Hedgehog poll, don't you love that as a name on your business card? But anyway, gone for the Sunday Telegraph, 64% of voters opposing those coming back into the country from the Middle East, including a majority of Labor supporters, which is probably why we had the Prime Minister with the Dog and Pony show earlier in the week pretending that he was against all of this, when, as we know, the bloke who's actually responsible for whether they get the paperwork and Whether they're allowed back in is saying my hands are tied. Tony Burke was on Insiders on the ABC today, where, among other things, he has said very clearly they are not involved in returning these people whatsoever. Now, remember, when the Wu flu was running around, no one could enter Australia. No one at all, okay? The government has shown us before that if they want to keep everyone out, they can. Regardless of how much it costs you because you were visiting Nana somewhere else or on the holiday of your lifetime, they kept you out. When you wanted to go from a state with 0 cases to another state with 0 cases, where you had to plead for your life and spend 2 weeks in a hotel room. Don't tell me the government doesn't have a power to do what it wants when it wants. But amazingly, Tony Burke is trying to say here, because you're an Australian citizen, automatically you are going to get a passport. You know that the law gives the capacity for a minister to say no. I don't care what the last minister or the one before or the one before or the one before that. If you're in the hot seat and you've got the pen, give these people the arse. Don't let them into the country. But here is the Home Affairs Minister banging around on the home game, otherwise known as the ABC.
Are you actively trying to stop them coming back then?
Oh, we don't want them to come back.
No, but are you actively trying to stop them?
We're actively making sure we do nothing to help them. Nothing to help them at all. The only reason they are in...
Stop them is the question?
I beg your pardon?
Nothing to stop them coming
Well, you can't... other than a temporary exclusion order, there isn't a legislative power to be able to stop an Australian citizen from entering Australia. So effectively that question goes to, are we breaking the law? And the answer is no.
But what annoys me particularly about this, what I think is insulting to you and everyone who is watching, remember, you can't walk into a country unless you have a passport to be able to do so, okay? If you are in a Syrian refugee camp, your capacity to walk to the help desk of Australia doesn't exist. The only opportunity for you to be able to make such an application, theoretically, is when you can get yourself to an embassy. The most likely one here would be something potentially in and around Lebanon. That's when the process, if it must happen, should have started. Instead, as we reported and we showed you all last week, and because you watch us, you're following every little detail here, rather than just, the smoke in the air, is that there was a whole bunch of passports that had been applied for, a whole bunch of passports that were collected, a whole bunch of passports that left Australia and then were handed to the people in the refugee camp in Syria. That's not something said by some far right-wing troll or some lunatic live streaming. That was from the people who are running the refugee camp that they say about the timelines. Now, you can slow play the ball to use rugby league, or you can slow the play down, of course, with the preferred method of football here. But let's be clear. The government pretending that we only just learnt about this last week is a lie. When they say that they are doing nothing to help facilitate the return, it is a lie. And again, further detail comes today from the News Corp press across the country about just how much of a heads up authorities may well have had to this potential return. Now remember, the exclusion order only went in last week after it was Turkish television that showed these people leaving the camps. Of course, again, slow play the ball. Why didn't that process begin earlier than all of that? Think about when you have to deal with government versus whatever the hell is going on with these people dealing with government. The Sunday Telegraph is aware of confidential talks that have been taking place between the federal government and state agencies, including the New South Wales Cabinet Office. It has been underway since late last year. Not last week, not Monday when you learnt about it, not January the 1st, late last year. In regards to the 11 families, 34 people, and making their way back. It can now exclusively reveal that the federal government has been engaged in these high-level planning with state agencies for months. It's understood that the Home Affairs Department officials have been holding regular briefings with state agencies both in New South Wales and in Victoria, and talking to the AFP, and talking to members of the Joint Counter-Terrorism Team. Now, something that's going to help speed this up as well, potentially, or bring this to a head sooner rather than later, is that the actual camp that they are in right now is going to close. So the ability to work out how to have slow played the ball, how to have potentially got to safer haven that wasn't that place, perhaps again parts of the Middle East where family may well be, well, all of that is going to become a problem. Now, when we talk about radicalisation in Australia, What about the story, again, that we saw this weekend? You know about Roblox, there's things that your kids shouldn't be playing. Sorry if you have kids that are playing it. It should be banned. I've got little kids, they want to play it. I don't want them to be playing it. Why? Because, like all the other stuff that's been banned, you're able to talk with other people while you're playing. Well, what about this? Have a look at the screen here in Burnie, or just keep watching the telly at home. This is what some people are playing on Roblox. Games where you can pretend to be Islamic State fighters. Literally, kids in Australia are able to play this garbage. My simple message is to the lady who would otherwise be up the front of the plane or going free to sporting events, who is also the Communications Minister, the Minister for Freebie, Annika Wells. Ban Roblox for people under 16 now. You cool with that, Burnie? Yeah. Block it now. All right, fair dinkum. Now, let's get to some of the politics in and around Tasmania. There is a fascinating poll, and of course you know that the wonderful Lee Hanson is with us. I'd really like to see, of course, good people like Richard, Claire in the Senate for the Liberal Party, but I also want to see people like Lee Hanson step up and also make it into the federal parliament. I know Jackie Lambie's a local, but bugger her, Lee Hanson is the future for this part of Tasmania. Well, One Nation statewide, if there was a federal election, would get about a quarter of the vote statewide. This is the latest polling, which came out from an organisation via the Pulse, one of the local news sites that you can see here. You can see that the Labor Party is at 30%, the Libs at 18%, One Nation 24%. We are in the federal seat of Braddon, which for a long time has flipped and flopped, depending on whom the government is. If there was an election held yesterday, 50-50 between One Nation and the Labor Party. We will see what happens. When it comes to South Australia, their election is off and running as we speak. That'll be happening on the 22nd of March. The leaders include the Liberal, who may be responsible, or at least be the one in charge, when everyone loses their seat. Malinauskas is close to 70% as the preferred Premier, so he's expected to go hot and hard. But again, One Nation surging. Corey Bernardi hoping to get himself back into Parliament. Probably likely, you'd have to say, because they were able to get somebody elected at the last state election to the upper house. The numbers there, you can see that the Greens, well, they're at 12%. Double the vote is One Nation. In South Australia, this is at the state election, 24%, Labor at 44%. Now, as I always say, caution and want people to understand when it comes to what's happening on the right, essentially the overall pie of 55-45 left and right hasn't really changed. There's a lot of change in and around that other side of politics, the one that certainly I wanted to win at the last election, but were well and truly put in their place. So it's about preferences. Preferences matter. Regardless of what you do and who you vote for, my view is you should always make sure that you make a very clear choice with your number 2 as well. Oh yeah. And just finally, can I just mention a little opinion poll, another one which came up. Can you believe, according to this opinion poll, President Xi, the leader of China, is more popular in Australia than Donald Trump? Now, I get it. We're a little more Trumpy than some people are, but the idea that the President of the United States, who, yes, is at times a lot to deal with, that people back him in as opposed to the person who is in charge of a country that has already created so much trouble, creates a threat to the Western world of life, way of life. That's incredible. To actually look at the numbers, Putin, negative approval of 60%, Trump, 41%, and just minus 26 for the Chinese leader. Wait, watch and see. I've got a feeling I'm going to be talking about that a lot more this week on the show. But let's celebrate Burnie. Let's take you for a little 1-hour holiday here in the most magnificent part of Tasmania, one of the most magnificent parts of Australia. Well, as you can see on the map, we are technically in the northwest, but again, there's the regions within the regions, and I don't want to get too complicated about it. But again, a couple of hours away is Launceston. Not that far away is Davenport, not Devonport, or is it Devonport, not Davenport? I knew I'd screw that up. Here's me being all smart-ass and local, and I've gone right into the hole that I was digging for myself. About 20,000 people here, including, by the way, there is about 1 in 20 people who play netball in this town. I'll explain why in a second. Median age is 43, and the top country of birth outside of here is England. Now, Andrew is the bloke who runs the local Harvey Norman. Harvey Norman are the very reason why we are able to travel around Australia. And if there's a bloke who knows Burnie like the back of his hand, not just because he is part of the business community, but because he loves this joint, he was the perfect bloke to show us around and have a look at everything he's into. And this is just a fraction of what we saw yesterday. Harvey Norman are our partners in our town. They are the reason that we are able to go around this beautiful country. And here in Burnie, in Tasmania, there is a very special bloke that runs this store. His name is Andrew, and he's going to show us around beautiful Burnie. Here he is, Andrew, Mr. Burnie. Mr. Burnie, how are you, sir? All right, now, let's show us around this beautiful city. I want to get to know you. I want to get to know this town.
Too easy, mate. Let's go.
Let's do it. All right. All right, so tell me the Andrew story. What's your connection? How long have you been here?
So, well, it's funny, actually. I was born on this site 45 years ago. It used to be the old hospital. Harvey Norman was built here 20 years ago, but I've been with Harvey's 23 years, I think.
Wow.
And then in 2015, I think it was, the Burnie franchise come up for grabs. And I just kept on to my state manager about it and finally got it. And yeah, 11 years later, I'm still here.
Jeez, wow, have a look at this.
Yeah, brilliant view. Wow. Turn the weather on for you today.
My oath. All right, well, tell me what's around.
Well, that's the old pulp mill. So that used to be the big manufacturing thing in town. With Harvey Norman down there. You see someone...
Vital landmark.
Yep, vital landmark. So it looks like someone's loading up a fridge down there. Down in there.
You can tell from here.
I can see that from here. Our beautiful wood chips, which we export those. That's down looking out over the main CBD. Yeah. Beautiful look out.
Spicy,
Bring your lunch up here, sit here, watch the world go by. It's
All right, let's keep going.
Go.
Best tour guide in town.
So this is the netball centre.
Oh, cool.
So 5 years ago, I reckon they were going to pretty much close the doors on this place. Yeah. And they've done a power of work here. So that's strong committee.
How many teams have you got?
We have around about 1,000 participants playing a week.
Seriously?
So we've got around about 20 mixed teams, 20 women's teams, around about 50 odd schools teams of a Saturday morning.
How important is it to get that local support from people like Andrew and Harvey?
We wouldn't be able to open the gates if we didn't have the support from our sponsors.
No new seats too, aren't they, Lynn?
Seating, we've just
replaced the old timber ones. I'll jump up here and have a seat.
You just have a little relax.
Beautiful up here.
Just sit back, have a little look.
No, you've done a good job up here, Lynn.
Yeah, it's come up really well.
Go the Tigers! What a great story though. Like Lynn.
Oh, yeah.
And you can tell all day, every day breeds it, right?
Mm.
And everyone on the committee breeds it.
Yep.
The fact that that was on its knees, fully back and roaring, that there would be places in Melbourne that wouldn't be as kitted out as that.
No, definitely not. No, and that's all just part of that locals supporting locals, regional. It's just it's just what we live and breathe down here.
So where are we going now?
I'm just going to duck into the tennis. There's an international tennis event starts tomorrow.
Yeah.
But this complex is sensational.
Geez, look at this. This is an international tennis tournament. So you're the bloke from the service station up the road, right?
I am.
So between the two of you, you're back in a lot of things here, don't you?
Yep. We like to help out with local sport. So this is the HCI Burnie International. We've got players come from all around the world to play. Starts tomorrow with the qualifiers and then runs through to the following Sunday for finals day. We've actually had Ash Barty come and she got knocked out, I think it was first round when she came here as a kid and played and ended up being a world number one.
She could win Wimbledon, but she got knocked out here in Burnie. All right, fair enough. Bugger Melbourne in January, Burnie in February. Burnie in February. Where are we off to next, Andrew?
Going down to the waterfront.
Excellent. We've seen it from up high. Time to see it down low.
Yeah, it's beautiful little spot.
Oh, wow.
Don't tell too many people how beautiful it is.
No, we'll keep it between us.
Yeah,
right?
I normally say mainlanders ask and nah, she's terrible.
Yeah, no, shocker.
Come down, grab an ice cream, or if you're dying here, have a beautiful walk along the boardwalk, and then out to watch the penguins.
Wow. Hello, I'm Paul. How are you?
Tracy.
Nice to meet you, Tracy.
Sharon.
G'day,
Shaz
Sharon.
dogs. But this is the man, Dane. He organises this parkrun.
A few years ago, 2018, we got the Burnie parkrun going. I knew Rick Ferguson and Andrew Warlord was the CEO of the Burnie Council, and Devonport had got going about a year and a half before us. So we thought, bugger this, we don't want Devonport being better than us. Spoke to the council, got the money, got the sponsorship, and in 2018 we took off. And last week we had 306 people.
Well, and you've got a little crew here who have
crew
turned
here,
up for us.
Yep, set up for you guys.
Excellent.
Yep, a lot of them, Sharon's done over 200, my partner Joe over 2, Tracy's over 200.
Well, show us what you do, please.
Let's go.
You ready?
3, 2, 1, go! We'll go!
Oh, I should have started with more of a walk.
What's wrong with the RN?
I should have started with a walk. And my pants are falling down.
So tell me about lawn bowls. What is it about it that doesn't fit you?
Oh, I just, once again, that's involvement in a club, and the amount of people which come into work, and I see them here at the Bowls Club. You put a bad bowl down and you've got another one.
Okay. Here we go. You ready? You pumped for today? I believe in you, mate. I believe in you. Your television bowls debut.
We're on hallowed ground now.
Yep.
We're on hallowed ground. Paul, how are you?
Nice to meet you, Paul.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks
Lads,
for coming.
hello, g'day. What's he like as a player?
Oh, he has his moments, mate.
Yeah.
He can be very good.
Well, he's going to go off and get changed, so you're off in your green and gold.
I'll go get changed.
The thing I love about bowls is it really is men, women, young, old. People having fun.
And it's a great social thing for the older generation. Like, it gets them out. They love it. You know, you don't have to be the best bowler, but you just enjoy yourself.
Go the Hornets. Go the Hornets.
Go the Hornets.
Look at this. Here he is. $1 million. Looking great.
Hello, mate.
Looking great.
I'm
All right.
pumped.
How you feeling? You ready?
Yep, pumped, ready for the day.
You got a big one? All right, can we do can we have a quick little net session
I'll-
before the game?
Yep, I think you'll be a good coach for me today, so
Go the Hornets. Go the Hornets. Here we go. Rubbish. A little jog. I've got to jog after, remember? Come on. Here he goes. Oh, look at him.
too heavy.
Oh, yes, the jog. I love a jog. Still, that's very impressive. That's very impressive. Andrew, thank you very much. Thank you for showing us around.
That's all right.
Your
No
pride
dramas
in
at
this
all.
place is infectious.
Yep.
Your commitment to it is awesome. Your connection with Harvey Norman, to all the different clubs, all the different people, and there's so much more. We could do another hour. Champion man, come to Harvey Norman in Burnie, say g'day, pay full price if you mention my name. All right, see you, Andrew. How good is he? Good on you, Andrew. That was awesome. That was awesome. All right, your lovely wife and boys were happy. All right, good. He did well, didn't he? He did really well. Great man. Thank you very much. I should also mention too, along the way too, we met the people from Rotary. They also run a disability transport service, which is around here. The cricket club, also an opportunity to look at a whole bunch of sporting things. But again, community spirit is typified by Andrew and his team. Speaking of, in a second, we're going to talk footy, and like you saw me running, we'll do penguins next. We're live in Burnie. Thanks for coming. Welcome back to Burnie. We're here at this beautiful art centre. Lovely to see everyone. G'day to everyone right at the back too. Back row, hello. Now, Tassie has long wanted a football team, and the process to get the Tassie Devils has at times been politically difficult. At times, the debate has gone around and around and around, but thankfully, the debate has been settled. Now, if you are somebody who can go and find a bit of Googling, you would remember that at the very start of the process, I was a little bit sceptical because of the amount of taxpayers' money that was in. I am now all in on the project, not because of who you're about to talk to, but because I like the whole if you build it, they will come principle of things. I love the idea of Tassie having full representation in national sport. I love the idea of a facility that means, yes, big rock acts can turn up, Monster Jam, whatever you're into, there's going to be a chance to be able to see it in Tassie. Brendan Gale is a man who had incredible success with administration of the Richmond Tigers, taking them over when they were in a world of trouble and getting them up to the legendary status of the past few years. He's in charge of what is going to be a phenomenal addition to the world of Australian sport. He's also a Burnie boy. Brendan, lovely to meet you.
Great to meet you, Paul. Welcome.
So, Burnie born and bred, and to be back here as the boss of the upcoming footy team would be amazing. But tell me about Burnie. What do you love about it?
Oh, well, it's fantastic. Spent most of my upbringing here. My mum still lives here. Look, it's a hard-working town, a proud town, a lot of proud sporting clubs, industry. Aesthetically beautiful, got the beach here. It's home, and it's really important. And importantly, this part of the world has been football heartland as well. Some great footballers come from this part of the world, and for over 100 years.
Well, as you may notice, slightly overcast, so let's use that as the excuse to get up to the club.
Indeed.
Brendan, Burnie is beautiful. I love it.
It is great. You've got the main beach here, the surf club, right in the main street. I mean, you look right down to the beach. It's a fantastic place.
People are great. Pubs are lovely too. I can testify to a lovely Saturday night here. Let's talk Tassie Devils.
Yep.
The excitement has been building for some time, and I think one of the smartest things the club did was to test that support when times were a little more touch and go about the facility, was to say, hey, put your hand up if you want to tell everyone that you're in. And 200,000 people became first-off members?
216,000, Paul, and half of those outside of Tasmania. So there's a lot of affection for the notion of Tasmanian the team as well. But no, it was about forming a relationship, getting to know them, taking them on the journey and really building the brand, and it's been fantastic.
So give me an idea about what it takes to start something from scratch as opposed to stepping into something that has history, like obviously your history with the Richmond Tigers, the ability to totally turn them around from another year of rebuilding to eventually comps. What's the difference for you as an administrator?
Well, it's a new club, but we have a rich history and tradition of footy, 160 years. The first game was 1866, and this state and these towns and communities have produced some of the greatest players of all time. I just feel that will be wind in our sails for our footy club. So yes, you're building a club and you're building an organisation and players, but you've got a really strong brand and a history and identity already. And we're the only club in the country that can claim to represent an entire state. Yeah. So we have to be whole of states. That's why being in Burnie and being at Chudley and Smithton and Stanley and all over the state, these places are so important to our football club.
I also love, and I mean this with everything I've got, I want Tassie to be in the national weekly conversation, right? Not mainland and Tassie, not Melbourne and Tassie. I love the idea that it is a relentless joining of the island to the mainland. I love it.
Well, it puts us on the national stage, and you're in market just about all year because you've got men's, you've got women's, you've got the postseason, the draft, and so you're always talking about Tassie, and this is a massive national sport. I also think it's really going to lift the place. It's going to create a sense of aspiration for our young boys and girls. There's more proximate role models now, and they're not all going to play footy for the Devils, but they might work in finance or marketing, or they might work in this sports business industry we're almost creating overnight around teams and culture and the stadium, and it will transform the state. It is so much bigger than football.
I was just thinking about what success looks like, right? Like obviously the hope, the expectation would be you want a full stadium every game, win, lose or draw. But I'm thinking if we come back here in 5 to 10 years to see kids bouncing footies while walking up and down the street, what does success mean to you, apart from just maybe a lovely bit of silver at the end of September?
Yeah, look, clearly you can't deviate those sorts of things, but look, it is bigger than that, and I don't want to sound glib, but it is about that aspiration. It's about kids believing and having ambition and being better students and better, musicians and better footballers. It is about the economy. I really believe, we're not curing cancer here, but the institutional power of footy is pretty big.
Yep.
And a growing economy. I think there's negative population growth at the moment, so those sorts of things you would think we expect would change. So it's more than just footy.
So when you're putting together the roster, obviously the roster is what we see on the field, but you're also in a position to be able to go, okay, we want the best in coaching, we want the best in recovery. What's the pitch, if you've got to that stage with some people, that early pitch to say, come move to Tassie, and because where you get to live is special as well as the job you're going to get paid for?
I think the pitch is, this is a real footy club. in a location where it's real football. There's history, tradition. It's meaningful to people. It's really meaningful, and I think that matters. I think that's going to motivate people and concentrate their minds. And but also it is the lifestyle, Paul. It's you know, they talk about peak hour traffic down here. Seriously.
I know. You want to be polite, but yeah.
Really, you know, like 9 minutes. So it's the access. You know, you can drive up here to Burnie Surf Club, park your car, and be in the water in like 3 minutes. There's the natural environment. There's great schools. There's affordable housing. There's an incredible range of lifestyle benefits we think are really valuable.
Good stuff.
Thanks,
Good luck. Good luck. A good man now speaking about footy. Jen, I love your footy jersey. You've got the Reform jersey from our mate Nigel in the UK.
You didn't get one signed, did you?
No, I haven't yet. No, look at yours. Nice and signed by the great man. Or, of course, Tuesday nights here on Paul Murray Live. Now, you are one of the passionate Tasmanians who's passionate about penguins.
Yes.
Your focus is about an hour away.
Stanley.
Yeah, what is it about them?
Got free speech penguin viewing platform.
Good. One more time?
Got free speech penguin viewing platform.
Good. I spoke over you, so I wanted people to see it. Okay.
Yep.
Now, help me out. What is it about the animals that you find so intriguing, beautiful, vulnerable?
They are just so gorgeous. They melt my heart. Never get sick of them. Chris comes with me most nights at the platform.
He's got a choice.
No, he hasn't got a choice. He hasn't got a choice. Burnie, though, is the centre for penguins.
Yeah.
Burnie has Dr. Purvis Marker. She is the penguin expert in Tasmania. And we also have Kathy Greaveson, who runs penguin rehab and release. Yeah,
but that's incredible, right? Is that it's not easy to talk on telly. You're just talking to me. Relax. Is that, again, that idea that you've got people like yourself, medical professionals as well that are across all of it. They are a beautiful community. Yep. Lovely to see you. Thank you for coming along. All right, go and check out the penguins and say good day to Jen. In the meantime, when you come to Burnie, you got to check these things out. I showed this live to my kids last night, and I can't wait for you to see it right now.
Beautiful Burnie at sunlight. Magic light everywhere else in the country, but it is a magical time to be here because when the sun goes down, the penguins come out. And from about October through till April, you can come and see fairy penguins, the smallest of the species. This is a unique experience. It's one that I've been really excited to see, and there's an expert to help us through. His name's Steve. Just before the show gets started, this whole area has become a nature preserve, for want of a better term, for penguins. Previously, this had been a place where there'd been plans for a car park. At times, there have been building materials that have been left around here. But over the past 30 years, the locals have worked together to completely rehabilitate it and to make this a place where it becomes a playground for future families or people looking forward to seeing the penguin family grow, to be able to see here, and literally penguins, this is their home away from home. How are you? Paul, nice to meet you.
Good, Steve, yep.
Hey, we're about to see something special.
This is where some of them will come up. They'll come up over the rocks, a few will come up over the wall, over the sand towards the wharf.
This is not a paid tour, this is free.
This is free, it costs you nothing.
And volunteers like yourself are here the whole time.
We are. We're always here. Through the daytime we're not, because the birds are a nocturnal animal. Most people come down, you'll see them looking over the fence expecting to see penguins. You may occasionally see a moulter, but they're out there feeding through the day, and then they come back into the night to either feed young or to rest.
Why do they like Burnie?
Oh, Burnie's a great place to be.
It is.
Yeah, it's got me. What else could you want? No, Burnie is really great, and we're lucky with our local council at the moment. They are very into the penguins as well. Yep.
So are we seeing at this time of year warmer waters for them? Why sort of to the north of the island?
No, I don't believe we have got warmer waters actually in the strait, but because the strait is so open, we get that cold air coming and the cold water coming through from the Antarctica, which keeps the temperature fairly reasonable. Plenty of food. We've had a really good season this year, an exceptional season actually, with our birds. The birds that we see are fat and healthy, which is saying, okay, there's a lot of food out there for them. And they are actually now on their second clutch for the year, which is quite unusual.
So next time my missus says I've got to lose weight, no, I'm happy and healthy.
Definitely. Through the middle of the breeding season, we would expect to see anything from 20 to 60 birds in this section through here coming up over the rocks with full bellies ready to feed their young. But at this time of the year, what they are actually doing is what we call a catastrophic molt.
Okay.
The adults, even though they've got chicks, will abandon the chicks and go to sea to feed up for about 18 days. They'll come ashore looking like little footballs on legs. They put on twice their own body weight, but then for the next 18 days, they will stay on shore and shed all their old feathers.
I could stand here all night.
That is so cute. They are so cool. Thank you to everyone who's involved in all of this. And by the way, while I want you to come here, I want you to see things with your own eyes. You're able to actually join us in Burnie 24/7 because on YouTube, on the Burnie Penguin Centre, you can watch live. In fact, this is what's happening in one of the burrows right now. You can see that the beautiful little creatures mucking around as we speak. And even, can we even turn up a little bit of sound back in the control room? Can we hear some chirping? Hi, buddies. Say hi to TV. You're on TV, penguins. Hi, TV penguins. Hi, TV penguins. Never work with children and animals. All right, cool. You can watch that live stream. I'll make sure that that's up on our socials. That is very gorgeous. Thank you to everyone who is part of that community. It is a really beautiful thing to see. Speaking of wonderful people in Burnie, you'll meet two of them right after the break. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks to Harvey Norman. We are here at this beautiful Burnie Arts Precinct and we are in Burnie in Tasmania. Come on down and say good day. Welcome back to Burnie. We love introducing you to special people around the country and the person who won the 2025 Local Hero in Tasmania, going on to be represented at those major Australia Day Awards, is Karen Franks, and she's from the Young Leaders of Tasmania. I put the notes away because I just want to talk to you now. Lovely to see you. Congratulations.
Thanks for having me, Paul. Yeah.
All right. So, Karen, give me an idea. What was it that made you start all of this, 2017?
Yep. So, Young Leaders of Tasmania, the journey actually started in 2002 when my daughter was born here in Burnie. I grew up and then got married here and we had our first daughter here. She was born with a significant disability called Kabuki syndrome. And when she was born, I remember thinking, I know nothing about disability. How can I be the mother that she needs? But life has a way of just teaching you, doesn't it? And she's taught me so much and taught our family so much, and we're so proud of her. But anyway, long story short, we moved to Hobart and she started school, and we witnessed while she was in school just the growth and development that her peers had working with her in the classroom and their natural curiosity and development as a buddy. And as she grew, the gap obviously got wider and she went to high school at the support school in Hobart. And when she started there, she lost track of her peers from the mainstream school. So we started to talk to the principals and thought, why can't we have a buddy program where we take students from mainstream schools into the support schools and have that buddy system happening in the support schools so they learn from each other and grow together. So,
because part of the thing, again, about perception, right? And again, I like the focus on the word leader, right? Is that it is about that special X factor that people like your daughter have and the effect that they can have. So how do you make the most of that in the programs? What do you do to help lift people and to change the perceptions?
It really happens organically. Like, the magic happens through the kids. They're in the classroom, they're just having fun. Sometimes I sit back and think, are they just doing this to get out of maths? You know, they get to travel down to the support school and get out of normal class. But yeah, the magic really happens when they're just there naturally observing, growing together, playing, just all those things that we take for granted. But they learn about the different forms of communication and those barriers get broken down. there's 1 in 5 people in Australia live with a disability. So we think why, they do bring so many gifts to our world. So why not share that with everyone, break down those barriers and really foster that inclusion in the community. So
what did it feel like to have the focus and the attention of that award process, to see that sort of all of the people doing incredible things in the state, that you stood out and you were named that local hero?
It was very humbling, and like I said in one of my acceptance speeches, it's just like there's so many wonderful people doing amazing things just in the community. They see a gap or they see a need and they just fill it through the goodness of their own heart. That's what community is all about, right? So it was I felt a bit of imposter syndrome when my name was called out, but it was an amazing experience going to Canberra, meeting the Governor-General of Australia, who has since become our patron. She came to visit us on the North West Coast and saw our program in action. So that was amazing. And the year was just filled with moments like that where, wow, is this really pinch me moments? Is this really happening?
But again, part of that ongoing gift that your daughter has to give you and that these other kids have, right, is that you end up in these experiences. Now, we're also a show that is about trying to make sure that when people learn about things, that they can help lift you as well. We'd love to see more government support, that's one thing, but community support's really important.
Absolutely.
What's the sort of stuff that you need to help you keep doing what you're doing and make it even bigger and better next year?
Well, we've got a really strong presence now on the North West Coast. We've got a local program manager on the ground up here. We're working really closely with the North West Support School and mainstream schools in the area. We've partnered with Rotary, who I heard you mention earlier on.
Awesome.
We use their bus for transport, so the students that come from Cooey Primary get transported up in the Rotary bus to the support school for their visits. So that community spirit is what we're all about, and we're just fostering those relationships. And I mean, obviously, we are very lucky because we've got government funding for the next 4 years to run this program throughout Tasmania.
Awesome.
But that's always something that you think of for the future. We need, community support to really build this momentum in Tassie and take it across Australia. Who
Excellent.
knows?
Why not? A great idea, can go anywhere. I hope this one does. How do people find you online to either reach out, support, get in touch, ideas, maybe again, people are doing stuff on the other side of the country. How do they get in touch?
So Young Leaders of Tasmania is our name. We're on all the socials and websites. So reach out. We'd love to chat. Absolutely.
Good on you. Lovely to meet you. Give her a round of applause. How good. How good. Stick with us there, mate, because I just want to also show another wonderful part of Burnie. In fact, it's just across the road from where we are, which is the regional museum that tells the stories that have helped get us to this point in Burnie, but it is in a particularly unique way, including the woman who shows us around. It's one thing to show you a postcard of beautiful Burnie. It is another to tell you the story of this place. The Regional Museum is something that I've been very much looking forward to seeing, and Ali has even opened it up for us special to give us a look around. Lovely to meet you.
Hi Paul, thanks for coming.
This is a great workplace, great office. The history of Burnie, what was its foundations? What was its beginnings?
Well, Burnie started as a port town. So the Van Diemen's Land Company were granted huge swathes of land in the northwest corner of Burnie to look for land suitable for sheep grazing to supply woolen mills in England. How do you get the wool off the country? Boat. Yes. So that's where Burnie comes in. Come this way.
Let us go back in time. This is pretty amazing.
Yeah, it is. Peter Mercer in the late 1960s and 1970s started to construct a replica historic street, which has businesses and names and stories from the history of Burnie.
Wow, so some reproductions, but an awful lot of OG, right?
Exactly. Let's have a look at Wellington Times Printery.
Yep.
Now, the great thing about this story is this newspaper, although it's going by a different name now, is still running today.
Cool.
And iconically, started by a convict's son.
Really?
Yes. So Robert Harris was the son of Elizabeth Harris, who came to Van Diemen's Land as a convict. He was apprenticed to a newspaper and then eventually set up one here in Burnie.
That's pretty cool. He was into the classifieds game.
Absolutely.
Nice and early.
One of my favourite stories about Federation Street is the story of Edward Evans, who's just here on Fed Street. So he was a shoemaker and patented a design that was unique for the conditions down on the wet west coast in the mining towns. So you can see by the photograph that we have, it was a high leather boot that had a fully enclosed tongue that was waterproof. So when you're stomping around in the mines on the west coast, you're keeping your feet dry.
I think I've seen some of you wear one of these at a nightclub once.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, we've had some fun. Now, let's take you to the dentist.
Oh, yes, excellent. I'm sure that they were fantastic with pain management back then. In
I
Federation Street, you could hear the scream from the other side.
And the whir of the drill. Well, what's exciting about this drill, it's pedal operated.
What?
So as your dentist is I'm sure very gently drilling into your mouth, he's operating the drill by a foot pedal.
Oh my goodness me.
Burnie Regional Museum has an incredible collection. So linked to the Winters Photography Studio and the Advocate newspaper, we have their photographic records.
Cool.
500,000 negatives that we have in storage that we're working our way through digitising and sharing with our community.
Wow.
Come and I'll give you a look.
All right. She's got on TV, isn't she?
I'm after your job, Paul. Behind this door is a very large walk-in freezer. Now we keep our negatives at about -20 degrees Celsius, and that is to slow down the degradation process.
Look at this.
So those cabinets are floor to ceiling filled with boxes of negatives. Door number 2, Paul, is one of our most important objects and so iconic to Tasmania. We have a thylacine skin, better known as a Tassie tiger.
Fantastic.
I am so excited because I have plans at the end of this year to put this on display in an exhibition. So
Wow, wow,
please
wow,
come in.
wow. Wow.
So this tiger was caught in a snare in 1906 and held by the man who captured it as a pride of place sort of trophy in his lounge room until the 1960s. And then he approached Peter Mercer at his Pet Falls Museum and said, "Would you like one of these?" And of course Peter said yes.
Yes, please. Well, I do not say this lightly, I say it because I mean it. The artefacts here are incredible. The lady taking care of them is also incredible. Ali, thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Really
Paul.
appreciate it. I reckon everyone sitting here who's been there once has taken their kids and maybe even grandkids as well. More from Burnie in a sec here, including a very historic rock and roll reason why we are where we are tonight. More in a sec. The Burnie Arts Centre actually sits in part on the old site of the Civic Theatre where 50 years ago AC/DC was playing and Ricky was there.
Yep.
What was it like? What were they like?
Fantastic. Yep. I was only 15. Yep. It was awesome.
Ripping and roaring and having was it as loud as we imagine it was?
Yes.
Probably loud.
Yeah, really loud.
What was Bon Scott like to see live out in front?
He was crazy. Yeah. he carted little Angus around the audience on his back.
Yeah. Well, I'll do that after the show.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But so obviously you've seen AC/DC, now Paul Murray live.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure AC/DC was better, right? No question, right? Yes. No, fair enough. Okay, yeah, no. Thank you, Ricky. Thank you, mate. Do appreciate it. All right, that is our show for tonight and our show from Burnie. Thank you to everyone again, to Senator Richard. And of course, everyone else who is here. Thank you very much to a great community, to Andrew and everyone from Harvey Norman. As always, you guys should always be proud of your city, proud of your state, but also proud of the country that we live in, of which we will continue to travel around for the rest of the year. Really looking forward to that. Remember, all videos and highlights of everything we have to do, including, of course, those cute little penguins, will be up on the YouTube page very shortly. We'll also post links to all of the things that we've seen. So when you plan your trip to Burnie, you can do what we did and had a fantastic time. We'll see you back in the Man Cave tomorrow night. Paul Murray from Burnie saying, see you later. And thanks, Tassie.